So you know that like ball you have in your stomach, that like weight you feel on your shoulders for some reason, and you feel it day in, day out, and you just get negative thoughts. You go to bed just feeling bad, you wake up feeling bad, you live your life feeling bad, you're stressed and anxious. Like a little thing comes up and you're thinking about it for the rest of the day. Like you could get anxious because you've thought about something that happened 3 years ago that was really, really embarrassing, and you're scared that people might start to think about it too. But beating stress and anxiety doesn't have to be so hard, and I want to make the journey a bit easier for you. So I actually started to bite my nails in 3rd grade when I moved into a new school, and it's because I was stressed, I was anxious, I didn't know anybody, and like it was difficult, and so I looked to biting my nails as a way to relieve my anxiousness. And you might still bite your nails, and that's totally fine if you do, but if by the end of this video you can take some things away that'll stop you from biting your nails, that'll be great. Alright, so let's get right into the habits and steps you can take to reduce anxiousness. So the single greatest way, I cannot recommend this habit enough. Meditation is the single greatest way to relieve anxiety. Like, I went to France this summer, and before this summer, like when I started meditating, I went from like 10 minutes to 20 minutes, but then eventually I was meditating for like 80 minutes every day. I was meditating for an hour and 20 minutes every single day. And like when we went to France, I kind of had to like cut it short because I didn't have that much time, and we were seeing a lot of people. So basically for like a month, I barely meditated, and during that month, like I didn't know why, but I felt like I just got more like negative thoughts and like, oh, what am I doing, blah blah blah. Like I just felt, I don't know, there was more noise in my head than usual, and that was actually because, well, I was meditating less. And meditating is so incredibly vital to beating stress, because when you're meditating, like you're focusing all of your attention on a single point, and it's the art of letting go of like unnecessary thoughts. Like you're focusing on the breath, breathe in, breathe out, and then you get a thought about that thing you did 5 years ago, and you're really scared people might think about it again, blah blah blah. It turns into an endless cycle of doom. But then you remind yourself that you have to focus on the breath, and you keep on breathing, and then you think about another thing, come back to the breath, right? You're learning to step away from the thoughts, and you're like, all right, I've just thought about this, but that doesn't mean that like I have to let this thought control me and let this thought turn into a spiral of bad things, right? You can just choose to step away from it and get back to focusing your attention on a single point. So if you can start to make meditation a regular habit, I promise you that you will feel your stress and anxiousness like fade away. Like I could not tell you the last time I was actually like anxious or stressed. And so just, if you can take one thing from this video, it's to meditate. Like maybe try to find a meditation guide. I haven't made one, I probably should, but try to build your way up, right? Go from one minute a day to 5 minutes to 10 minutes, and then maybe you'll start meditating for an hour every single day. And if you can do that, you're really, really, really ahead of the 99 percentile of people who don't even look to reduce their stress or anxiousness. The second habit you can do to reduce your stress is actually journaling, because it's pretty simple. Instead of keeping your thoughts down in your head, just put them down on pieces of paper, right? If you've been thinking about that test that you don't know if you studied for, or if you don't know you did good on, well, write down what you feel in the journal. Like it really works. Like just instead of bottling your thoughts in your head, just bottle them up in the journal. And I find that journaling before you go to bed is really good, because instead of having like a bunch of thoughts about this thing or that thing or that thing, you can just put this thing or that thing or that thing in the journal, and so you don't have to keep it in your head. The third one is actually social connection. So it's been found that like one of the factors to living a healthy and long life is actually social connection. Like people who have a bunch of friends and like good friends are less stressed, less anxious, and less nervous than the people who don't have good social connection. So basically, like, make it a habit to when you see a random person you don't even know, like make eye contact with them, right? Like smile, give them a wave, because in this modern day we don't actually know if people are friends or foe. Like back when we were cavemen, you would automatically know whether the guy that just came into your cave was gonna smash your skull in, he was a foe, or he was gonna give you a hug, he was a friend. But nowadays we can't tell whether people are friends or foe, and so they're in this gray endogenous like weird zone, and so it leaves us unconsciously stressed that they might like do something to us, you know? Like you're in the gym, you've got the bench press, like you're in a vulnerable position, and there's a bunch of other like thick looking dudes, and you've never approached them, and so you don't know if they're like your friends or your foe. And so make it a habit to just like approach people you don't know, wave at them, smile at them. Like you don't have to be a I'm in my Sigma alpha male winter arc mode, right? Like you can talk to people, right? So basically talk to strangers more. And the last one, and probably the one that like this is one that if you do right now, I guarantee your stress levels will go down, and it's actually breathing. So controlling your breathing is the single greatest way, apart from meditation, to reduce your stress like in the minute. So there's a particular like pattern or thing you can do when you're breathing that'll reduce your stress, but basically apart from that, like your breathing, nose breathe more. Like so many people nowadays are mouth breathers, and it's been found, like a bunch of books, a bunch of studies, like Breath, The Science of a Lost Art, by James Nestor. Like he speaks about the fact that like mouth breathing like absolutely destroyed his health when he was doing an experiment. Like his stress levels went up, his health levels went down, his cardio went down, like basically everything went down when he did an experiment in which he could only breathe through his mouth. And that's basically what a bunch of people are doing nowadays. They're only breathing through their mouth. But I basically only breathe through my nose. I mean, except for these videos, like right now my throat is like, you're not water break. I gotta be in tip-top shape for you guys. But basically, like be aware of how you breathe, and breathe in through your nose more. And especially at night, there's like these mouth tape things that you can put on your mouth, and it's not dangerous at all. There's like a little gap that if you really need to, like you can just breathe through your mouth or simply take it off, and it'll force you to breathe through your nose. And I guarantee you'll wake up feeling a lot better than like if you'd breathe only through your mouth. And the secret breathing technique, the secret breathing jutsu I was talking about, is actually this. So you breathe in like really fully until you can't breathe in anymore, and then you squeeze in a second inhale, and then you exhale. So it goes like this. It's like, right? So like I inhaled deeply, and then I squeezed in a tiny other inhale, and then I exhaled. And right now I'm probably calmer than before, simply because I did that breath. So search like inhale, exhale breathing, and I think Andrew Huberman's spoken about this. But basically, if you can do this, like when you're feeling stressed or anxious, well, it'll really like calm down your levels of stress and anxious levels. Yeah, but basically this breathing has been found to like in the moment decrease your levels of stress. And the last thing I want to talk to you about real quickly. So recently I made a video about discomfort versus comfort, and I find that short-term stress, so doing discomfort activities like taking cold showers and doing hard workouts, so putting yourself through like voluntarily stressing your body and mind, are great ways to actually like callous your mind and basically like build an anti-stress body. So if you can put yourself through things that are harder than what you're going to face in real life, you're going to be in a great position to. Alright, hope this helped you, and I cannot wait to see the progress that you make. Cheers, bro.